welcome back. This is your buddy Dave over at Mars X3D, and in this context view, we don't really find anything non-fractal that just jumps out at us, but this is another example where close inspection reveals something out of the ordinary. Moving in, we see what looks like a lion's face on the left and a man wearing an Egyptian-type headdress on the right. Now, I'll be the first to admit, this could be a pareidolia party. Both objects are badly eroded and could be natural, just a product of happenstance. But we know that lions and busts, like we see here, are standard motifs in Egyptian antiquity. We've also discussed at length elsewhere how the Egyptian culture suddenly appeared, fully formed, out of nowhere. How we've discovered countless Egyptian-style artifacts on Mars, and even how Cairo in the Coptic language means Mars. So, is this a legitimate example? Moving in for the tight shot, the pareidolia effect, if indeed that's what it is, holds up pretty well. I think I'd be more convinced if the human face sported a ceremonial beard like most Egyptian busts depicting rulers tend to have. Nevertheless, this example is pretty compelling in my mind. Until we can take a close-up look in person, this one is on the fence for me. My colleague, Terry Burnett, is a prolific anomaly hunter who's been at it for a number of years now. He's found any number of amazing items over the years, and this is a find I had to move into the 3D realm. You can see it circled on the left, a small white rod or antenna with a couple of black spots sticking up at a 45-degree angle. Being the Mollycam, this is a macro view, a close-up, so this rod is very, very tiny. My buddy Neville Thompson estimates it as being no more than a millimeter or two in length. Here we're a bit closer. It sure doesn't look natural, does it? Nev speculated for me that, and I quote, "Probably it's where part of the rock has chipped off and is showing the lighter inside part. You see the same thing happening when the rover runs over a slab and it cracks in half, leaving the lighter inside part exposed." End quote. I have an absolute ton of respect for Nev's amazing work and his overall grasp of the MSL missions, so I listened to what he has to say. But let's get closer. This is about as close as we can get, and I'll leave the final decision to you. Is this a chip off the old block, or is it a near-microscopic antenna or electrical part? This one is easy to see, even in the context view, over there on the left-hand side. My first thought seeing this was, it's a quarter bowl, neatly divided into a clean quarter section. But you can see it's not actually a bowl, it's not even hollowed out. So what is it? To my eye, those are symmetrical carvings lining the rim and the outside. I suppose the argument could be made that those carvings are merely an erosion pattern on sedimentary rock. But there's a couple of problems with that assumption. The most obvious is the clean quarter section with a sharp 90-degree angle. Add to that the flawless compound curvature over the entire outside of the piece, and sprinkle in those carvings, and I'm sorry, that's not natural at all. Let's get a bit closer. The impression I get is that this was an ornamental part of a building. The clean, block-like quarter section speaks to a structural purpose, and of course the carvings, if that's what they are, would indicate the exterior portion visible to the public. Thanks, and kudos to Neville Thompson's immaculate rendition on this gigapan. This is one of the clearest, easiest to see anomalies yet. My colleague, Thomas Mikey Schroder Jensen, whom we call TJ, is a brilliant Danish researcher who has discovered some of the most amazing anomalies to be found anywhere in the anomalist community. TJ jumped on this one, it seems, within minutes of Neville Thompson's release of this beautiful PDS. Zooming in a bit, we can see the perfectly square opening, the flat face of the building, and off to the right, more items that could belong to this structure. Of real interest to me is the round engraving over the entrance. Let's take a closer look. Follow the white arrow if you can't already see the engraving within the double offset circle. This is a fantastic find, and one that is impossible to attribute to natural processes. Well done, TJ. Hey, thanks for stopping by and having a look today. There is a whole lot more to come. If you liked what you saw, please consider subscribing. And in the meantime, this is your buddy Dave over at Mars X3D. Be well.